Hi there, this is FrightFest TV. I'm Billy Chainsaw. These are the Ford brothers, Howard and John.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1, action. Okay, cut. It kicks ass.
Last time it was Africa.
It was.
Burning question. Why India?
We were looking for the most beautiful country in the world, which was that whole mix for us about beauty and horror and mixing the two. And we're thinking, okay, Africa was stunning. What is the most beautiful country in the world? And India came up.
India has a spirituality, and it's a very elegant, vibrant, bustling, very well-populated country. So what better to have a zombie epidemic? India.
Are you spiritual people yourselves?
Interested in it, I would say. Fascinated by it. And that always seems to become an integral part of when we write a script. One of the dead scripts, as it were. It becomes, I suppose, the undercurrent of it. And it's always fascinating to see how each different culture translates what's going on and tries to put understanding to it.
Mankind is going through a great change, a rebirth. Yes, it is painful. But look at what mankind has done with all its sins.
I'm a big believer in sort of fate and karma, and you kind of reap what you sow. So if you do someone down, it's going to come back at you in some other way.
Is this the karma we have created for ourselves? This mindless walking death?
If you do good, it's going to help you along. And so we were trying to inject...
We sort of live our lives.
Well, that's a spiritualism.
Yes.
Yeah. What you've just said is spiritualism.
Yeah.
Then probably yes.
The
just don't know.
Yes.
Too busy making films to know what we think.
How soon after The Dead did you decide that you wanted to make The Dead 2?
Well, I have to say, for me, as you know, The Dead was a bit of a long and horrifying journey to make. So it took me a while. I suppose I was almost in post-traumatic stress mode. It took me a while to even want to make anything after that. It kind of almost put me off filmmaking for life. So, but after, putting some of the demons to rest after a while.
So, why are you standing on the side of the road with an iron bar, John?
I'm going to smash the window of the car. And the fan support, really, the overwhelming fan support, they seemed to really love it, they understood it, and they got it, and that really reignited something. We thought, we've got to have a look at doing another one, but we didn't know until we put literally pen to paper. We sat down and thought, okay, let's write a few notes and see where we go. We were a bit half-hearted at first, but the moment we put pen to paper, we just couldn't write fast enough. It just flew out in unbelievable time. We were shocked, really, by that.
It did, yeah. But the thing is, we absolutely owe, the fan support for The Dead 1, which we're incredibly grateful for. All the guys who went out and got DVDs, went to see it at theatres and, Blu-rays and everything. And we could not do The Dead 2 without that support, so we're incredibly grateful for that. And when we saw online all of these sort of sequel pleas and all this kind of thing, we thought, let's do it. And also, it was a kind of a chance to go back, because we had, with all the sort of knife point muggings, the held at gunpoint, and the malaria and all of that in Africa, we thought it was kind of a chance to go back with a bit of hindsight, almost going back to deal with the school bully, having practiced your right hook and what you might say after an event type thing. And we knew things would come at us much more, but we'd have a sort of backup plan so we could just keep moving.
First day on the Dead 2. Can we make this film? I'm certainly going to try. Look at his face. Shall we get a rehearsal, please? Standing this way. Just moving around.
When it came down to it, when you were face to face with such scenarios we'll get anecdotal about shortly, had it prepared you that much? I mean, did it help you?
I think it helped a great deal. We were ready. We, as John and I said from the very beginning, what we'll do with the Dead 2, we're going to hit brick walls. We knew it. And
last time we just had you get stubborn as a filmmaker. You want your vision. You want what you want. And in Africa, when we hit the brick walls, we just tried to bulldoze through those walls, and you realise that's a waste of time, waste of energy, and you just have to be devious and go around those walls, over the walls, or you just have to adapt.
If we couldn't shoot the scene exactly how we wanted, we go, right, let's not spend any time debating the fact we can't do it this way, we're going to do it this way instead. Completely change it, this, that, and the other. Just keep that flexibility and
just to keep
move
moving.
Fast, yeah. But we always wanted to keep the film, have a sort of gritty, realistic edge. So the sort of style of filmmaking, we did actually consciously change a little bit from. We wanted to up the pace, we didn't want the film to suffer from sequelitis and just go bigger. But we wanted it to ramp up the action, the pace, and the sort of style of filmmaking.
Also, we wanted to ramp up everything. We didn't want to leave anything out. Everything had to be raised. We had to raise the bar on everything.
Nothing's hurting it. It can't be right. Got Joe Milson's arse. Action! First shot of Slum.
Nearly got a couple.
I think so.
Good.
Yeah, there's something like that.
How's that for you, Joe?
Scary.
And there are some scenes you're going to see in the Dead 2 India that were in the script of the Dead 1, but we couldn't do them. So they're in there now. We literally sort of started, didn't we? We've got to have that scene that we couldn't do because it was so frustrating when we were tearing pages out of the script while in Africa. So they're in there, and then we sort of adapted some of the stuff around that and then built the script around that. So that was satisfying to go back and nail some of those scenes.
We strapped the paraglider to his back, and we're hiding behind this wall as you see here. Good luck.
For me, filmmaking is obviously a challenge anyway, regardless of what kind of film, what genre, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
But you seem to really embrace the Uber challenge. It's kind of like it's like you're creating this great challenge when you go and make a film because of where you're going to film it, and knowing that so much of it has got to be shot on the hoof, total guerrilla style, because of the environment and the people that you're going to encounter. You know, there's no close sets or anything like that.
Absolutely. Self-flagellation it must be.
Yeah.
Well, I think beating ourselves up.
I was sitting there thinking, I think they've developed their own personal subgenre, and that's masochistic filmmaking.
Do you know what? He's right.
Yeah, but you want to put that.
I mean, you know, if you can get it, it would be nice.
Wherever the hell we are with Sky,
And then we go.
it can be roof 4 here.
There we go.
You've got me that and that inflated.
Let's get it. If we can do it, but we're behind time.
You seriously worried about not?
Tell us what you think. I think, what's the time now? I think we have to go.
We've got it.
We don't go looking for those horrible moments and those, you know, the stressful filmmaking horrors. Believe you me, we'd love to be shooting in Saint-Tropez with hot babes in a jacuzzi. Don't get me wrong. But somehow, I suppose we feel we have to give the audience something that no one else is giving. I suppose we're just trying to run the extra mile.
John, the next shot, there's the recovery vehicle. They're meant to be up there. Should we get the recovery vehicle to go all the way up there now so we can reveal it?
To carry it up.
Well, you could tow it up, but I was thinking to reveal this car coming the other direction. So we've got our car going one way. Obviously,
Really, our car should be coming down because it's only ever going to go down. We can't have it going up.
so then he needs to just tow it up.
Yeah, if he just tows it up.
Hang on, Ishbrid.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you. This is how I like to play.
I'll buff out. There's a truck in the way of that bit.
Well, you should have jump over it.
Okay, John, you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, and ready when you are, and action, we're ready. Be careful, Joe.
I think it's an addiction to adventure. For me personally, if I wasn't making films, I want to be on the front of a ship discovering new lands. Unfortunately, they're all discovered.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's a reincarnation thing, I feel just completely got to cover new ground. It's partly the adventure. Okay, let's make a film at the same time, but there's a lot of adventure involved personally.
So, Joe, you guys will go when the extras start moving, yeah?
We're last on action, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, everyone ready, please? Yeah, you guys will run up in that way, yeah? Yeah. Okay, get ready. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, action!
Chalo, bhago. Idhar andar wale, chalo, action! जब इनको ये गोली मार रहे होंगे तब वो ऐसे करेंगे, नहीं मारो, वो उतर के बाहर आने की कोशिश करेंगे, ठीक है? आपने उनको बिठाना नहीं, आप अंदर बैठे रहो, ठीक है? आपको ऐसे एक्टिंग करना है। और बहुत सीरियस, जैसे आप सही करना, मुझे हिलना नहीं आते।
The other thing that nails you two as such individual directors is your vision, the palette that you work with. You know, it's so beautiful, which is what sets it apart from all of yours are the most beautiful. Like I said, it's the first time zombie movies, but like genre movies, it's not very often you see them on such big vistas.
Yeah, thanks. We really are all about those tiny details.
You're all about the
in
vista.
A big landscape. The vista. It's very. We had Sergio Leone, one of our favourite directors.
He was a master of the tiny detail within the huge epic, scale, the vista, and that's what it is. It's concentrating on the grain of sand, but also encapsulating the desert.
thought the second shot was better.
That was just too fast for me.
Yeah,
He needs to slow down a bit.
Yeah.
You know, as much as I love horror, so much of it is very straight ahead horror. This is it. You know, as good as it may be, it's still kind of generic.
Yeah.
But you can. That's why I asked you that, because yours is like a melting pot.
We've come from horror, but then along the way we've integrated many other types of genres in there.
I get tired if I go to a film and it's just, you know, just special effects, just production value, whatever it is, and there's no heart and soul in it. I suppose the soul maybe is even more important, but if you have an experience like that, there's nothing to it. You can have all the explosions and all the special effects and the huge grand scale stuff. If you don't care about a character or feel something for their plight, there's just nothing.
It was in the basket with me at the door of the orphanage. They told me it was made by hand, by someone who doesn't make things. But they tried. My mother and father would not do that for me unless they love me. Would they?
Action! Get it straight in the corner. And slower. This zombie in the foreground. You spin slower. Slower. Get on.
Right. Filming in bustling cities like Delhi, Jodhpur, Jaisalmer, and
Not the opening shot.
Yes, some of the opening montage. You know, that was shot. I think the moment we arrived.
There's a little bit of Mumbai there, but essentially
we hit the ground running. Really, that one. There was no waiting around.
The tart sequence stuff was done within the pre-production week, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was just sort of us.
We just got shooting straight away. We didn't waste a minute. It was putting all the wrongs right from the first one. So very satisfying to do that.
I think Joseph Milson came in about week or 10 days later, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And as soon as he was in, it was like straight in there. I think literally he turned up on set. Yeah, I could see you. Right, just we're going to throw some blood on your face because we're doing the end scene. And he was just literally right in there.
And as Joe goes, this guy is going to reach up. Yeah. Okay, get ready. Action.
Hello, action.
So what we could do is have
Hang your head maybe as well.
I can't even work out how this works entirely.
चलो इसकी तरफ बढ़ो उधर मुड़ के उसकी तरफ चलो
and as well come towards
चलो
okay cut
बस ध्यान से
I think it's good. Okay, get ready. Shall I roll it, John? If it's looking good. Yeah, okay, 3, 2, 1, action. Zombies.
Zombie's not walking.
उड़ जाओ सब लोग उड़ जाओ
Is it good? If it wasn't, take it immediately again because you won't get another chance.
We had a better shot beyond this point anyway.
Yeah. Let's not get in. That wasn't bad.
That was alright, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's fine.
That's great.
My God, did he deliver?
He really did. He's amazing. Yeah, just pointing the camera at him, thinking, "This is some of the best acting I've ever seen." It's happened right before my very eyes.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, now the seat is jammed, but I think I can get the catch off if I shoot it. But it's gonna be really loud. Okay, so you need to cover your ears. Put your head forward. Okay, that's it. Just put your head forward. That's it. Okay. All right, here it comes. Here it comes.
Ready? Little girl, stay still. Little girl, stay still. The eyes look at Joe.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. It's a wrap, yeah? Well done. Well done.
No, fine, thank you.
So what about the zombies then? I mean, how did the locals take to being made up like that?
Well, yeah,
because it must have been a bit odd for them, because we've already talked quite a bit about spirituality and all that kind of thing, and you know, the living dead. I mean, it's something that resonates with them greatly. So how did they take to?
Well, they call it Zindalash, right, which is living death.
Living corpse. It's sort of a live corpse, really. Okay. There's no exact. We tried to find the best translation for it, but Zindalash seemed to be it.
Is this Brahma's idea of perfection? This Zindalash?
In every single culture that we've sort of investigated, they all know about this. They all have their version of it, which is quite bizarre. So they, after a few instructions, they did kind of get with it, and the zombies took on their own life, if you excuse the expression. But they were faster. I don't know if you noticed that they were ramped up a little. They were a little quicker.
We allowed ourselves a quarter increase.
They took to it quite well, I would say. Don't get me wrong, they were quite difficult to coach in the zombie walks. They found it hysterically funny, and they were all laughing about that continuously, so we had to cut around a lot of laughter.
I tell you what, running slow-mo might be the error. Yeah. Okay, come this way. This way. Up and down, so yeah, that's great. Just this guy in the brown here.
Yeah.
Action! That's good. It kicks ass.
We went to a village on the edge of the Thar Desert, and there was only women in this village. All the men had gone somewhere to work, but our driver, we were just taking a few shots, a few practice set-up shots, and our driver managed to say something to them that upset them, and the next thing we knew, we were being stoned. You know, all the women in the village were hurling stones at us. It was.
Then we had some goons, so-called goons, wasn't it? We've tried to, when we were filming the rail track sequence near where the which hopefully is a very harrowing sequence for people, but where the woman and her child are trapped in the car. And in a pretty bad situation, but we were in an incredibly bad situation at that point. These so-called goons turned up, and they were like, "Right, you've got to pay us to be here, pay us to leave."
आपके यहाँ अतिथि आए, आप लोगों के साथ इस तरह व्यवहार किया, आपको
संतुष्टि मिल गई? अब छोड़ो ना।
ठीक है।
नहीं करानी।
So I grabbed the camera, I just started filming. You know, we just got on it, and one of them sort of ran at me from the side. I was holding the camera, and suddenly I was hit sideways, and Anne over there rugby tackled this guy out the way. Then there was a big scuffle. Yeah. Thank you for that. It became close to a full-on physical riot, I would almost say.
And the locals were saying to us, because it's a weird situation, so one of our female fixers, that these local guys were threatening sexual violence towards us. They said, these foreigners, they'll go, but we'll find you, we'll get you, and we'll have you. And all of this stuff had gone on. I was like, "Let's just," and then we're like, "Don't do anything. These guys, they'll stone you to death. You'll not get out of it."
So how did you get out of the situation? Other than
the old-fashioned way. It was money. Money won the day.
Fuck you!
Joseph's performance was on the edge, and that's a direct, I think, it's helped directly by that scenario that was going on right there.
There's real anger
that was a real emotion he was using.
It enhances.
I mean, he's amazing anyway, but that is another level, and you can really just see with the outcome of that scene the visceral anger.
Would you consider that the most harrowing incident during filming?
I would say yes.
So, yeah.
I
you had a dog thrown at you.
I did have a dog.
Drop kicked, I believe.
Drop kicked at me. I mean, can you?
How did you know it was actually drop kicked? Did somebody see?
Someone told it. I was walking along, bang! I was hit by this thing. I had no idea what it was. Then I heard a yelp from the dog, and the dog scampered off somewhere. turned around and said, someone just drop kicked a dog at you. And then they were throwing cow shit off the roofs at us.
Yeah.
And then stones, and
Yeah.
I thought, this is just not going
But
well.
It's just such a shame. I was quite sort of heartbroken, not just because of this exact incident, but because I'd totally fallen in love in their first location record, totally fallen in love with this village. Kuhara is the name of this village. And it was amazing, and it was lovely, and it was going to provide some incredible locations. Okay, we've got incredible locations anyway, but some of these places we could not get in the film because we physically could not shoot there. It's like Children of the Corn.
To the right of the camera.
Where John is.
Well, where he was then. Where he was then. Yeah, exactly. And you kind of freeze on the spot. You just an ominous feeling, that sort of spine tingling feeling that something is wrong. Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay, get ready and roll camera. 3, 2, 1, action. And now.
We've been very aware, John and I, since young, of our mortality. As in, we are so aware that this is temporary. We will all be dead pretty soon. That's the whole thing. That, you know, it's kind of almost not really. You've got a little moment on the stage, and
you better make it a good one.
Make good on it. But, you know, that's not to say that, you know, don't respect everything that's out there. You know, great respect for every person and everyone, but just try and have a good time. You know, try and enjoy it. Have some adventure, do something, I don't know, you know, it's make your mark.
Were you signing some autographs?
Something is going on. It was a great experience, and they were very sweet, very decent.
I hope, well, with all films we make, but you feel something in your heart with the film that you're not necessarily expecting to feel by the time you get to the end of the movie and what happens. That there is something you sort of that hopefully resonates about whatever life the person who's watching the film is having, and it might make them reflect. Even in a zombie movie, maybe that's a bit surprising. I hope that comes through. It's hard to know, you know, as a filmmaker. It's very odd. It's almost like trying to control a puppet. You make your choices of shots, your lenses, and how the light's going to be, and all of those things. You're trying to make people feel a certain way. It's trying to control it with a sort of really weird puppet arm. You know, you don't know if that effect is coming through.
But it may be horror, but it's like every genre. If you can touch someone's emotion, then you're there. You know, and horror's no different.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Howard.
Pleasure. Thanks.
Thank
John,
you very much.
Nice Ford brothers.